What's up, fam? Why is it you think that there are so many agents in our society that work so hard to keep us so distracted from the present moment? What is it? What is it that you think that the powers that be fear about you and I dropping this thing that we do in our head where we obsess over things that we could never change in illusionary ways with an illusionist, the master illusionist at that, the ego, the biggest liar you'll ever meet, the biggest con man or woman you will ever encounter. I'm talking about the most foulest, sneakiest, snakiest partner that you will ever connect and link with. Right on the inside of you. The same way you talk as a woman about men. The same way you talk as a man about women. You can be sure that your judgments, those harsh, nasty, wicked judgments, all apply to the truth of the lie of your ego. So look, I had a question, right? What is it? What is it that you think? Why is it that we run and dodge and hide from the present moment every opportunity we get? Why is it that when we do become present, why is it that when our presence is presently in the present moment, it takes nothing but a tiny whisper from the inside to knock us back off course and get us stirred up in another whirlwind of thoughts, imaginations, vain pictures, and a host of lies. Once again, I'll share something with you. Of Course in Miracles calls it the holy instant. The holy instant is the presence, the truth of the presence, to be spiritually present, to be present from the inside out. See, I'm not talking about just showing up. You and I both have took our anatomy a ton of places that our attention has never been. You and I do a host of extremely dangerous things like driving vehicles, ordering food, eating food, partnering with people, sometimes without ever being present in the process of doing what we're doing. I've been in the store and connected with people that eventually became my friend down the line. But when I got their number or I identified with them and we exchanged pleasantries and introductions in the store, that initial reaction, that initial interaction that we had that they never seemed to forget, I wasn't really present for. Oftentimes. And if you're honest with yourself, if you take a true assessment, if you look with a true eye, if you see with a single truthful eye, you'll see it in yourself too. You'll see how often you go missing. You'll see how often you go rogue, AWOL, slap off the planet. I mean, you're physically there. But your mind is divided in a host of places, lying to yourself about a plethora of things. And that's why the holy instant, the present moment, the now, is a gift. Because in the now, the past does not exist. In the now, the future does not exist. In every single anxiety, every single anxious thought that you've ever had, every single fear that you've ever entertained, every single thing that you've obsessed over in imagination that could possibly happen was based on prior knowledge from the past or a picture of a future that you have yet to ever experience. So you and I both can agree that you reached into the recesses of your mind and grabbed a piece of your past and used it to project what the future will hold, right? Just saying. The holy instant, the present moment, the now is a gift because those two places that you often perpetually go, whether you want to or not, don't exist in the now. So there is no concern of the past in the now. There is no judgment in the now, because every judgment that you have of the things that you experience or the things that you're going towards or think you're going towards based on the things behind you, every single judgment that you've ever drafted and submitted, whether publicly or privately, was based on the experience of your past. So if you eliminate your past, you eliminate your judgment. You eliminate your judgment, you eliminate the chaos that you live with, that you think you stuck with, and you're left with nothing but love. Judgment always rests on the past, for past experience is the basis on which you judge. Judgment becomes impossible without the past, for without it, you do not understand anything. You would make no attempt to judge, because it would be quite apparent that you do not understand what anything means. You are afraid of this because you believe that without the ego, all would be chaos. And A Course in Miracles says, yet I assure you that without the ego, all would be love. Without the ego, all would be love. If you didn't have that thing on the inside of you telling you every time somebody else was wrong and every time somebody else was right, when everybody else needed to be celebrated and when they needed to be condemned, when they needed to be shunned, when they needed to be lifted up, when they needed to be celebrated, when they needed to be paid, when they needed to be punished, when they needed to be hid away, when they needed to be exposed. If you did not have this conversation going on the inside of you, you would not be left with chaos. That conversation is chaos. You've just grown so adapt to the chaos on the inside of you that you think it's natural. And you think if you let that go, you'll be left with what? Chaos? You'll be left with a peace that surpasses understanding. You'll understand the peace that you didn't understand from the standpoint of chaos. You'll be out of the chaos and into a peace that you'll then understand. But from within the chaos, all you can do is what you've been doing. Get peace on your mind and project what you think peace is based on a past experience in your life when you was happy or thought you was happy. Because if you was really happy, you'd still be happy. Because happy ain't conditional, just like love ain't.